Here, we're in virtual court today. So we're not going to have anybody actually take the stand. We have everybody joining us on location. And please, as a reminder, when you're not speaking, please have your mask on, okay?
Jeez.
That's like the most important thing I've been told. When you're not speaking, please still wear your mask. Today's courtroom decision comes down to this. Where will Deshaun Watson land? We have cut it down to two finalists. Doug Llewellyn is waiting outside the courtroom for the winner. It'll either be Jay or Key. Rusty, my trusted bailiff, is here. Judge Wapner has the day off. It's unlikely he will return.
How diverse is the jurors? How diverse are the jurors?
We're looking at 12 people, 7 men, 5 women, 3 blacks, and the token Asian, not me. Okay, here we go. Just had to say that. All right, here we go. Is it going to be Watson to the Dolphins, or is it going to be Watson to the Jets? Keyshawn Johnson is up first. Keyshawn, let's give your argument, and then evidence A is awaited.
Well, I would think, first of all, that Deshaun Watson wants to be in the New York City area. As you know, if you win in New York, just think about it. The Michael Strahans of the world, the Reggie Jacksons of the world, the Jeters of the world, the Eli Mannings of the world. If you want to be a part of that, don't think about a 25-year-old decision. Think about a decision that carries you into 65, 70-year-old here in New York City. When you come to New York and you win, it sets you up for the remainder of your life. You can go to other cities and places and win. It's not the same as New York. So you got to think long-term, not short-term. Don't think club, partying, hanging out. Think of having...
Oh, we got an objection. Hang on.
What are you objecting to?
I don't know. Continue.
Sustained. I was going to give you an opportunity.
So what I would say is, for Deshaun, he should think about a franchise that's starving like the New York Jets in short order. Think about the draft picks that they have, how they're going to rebuild, be the face of the franchise, the face of New York, Madison Ave. Think about it. If Eli Manning can succeed in New York, Deshaun Watson certainly could succeed in New York.
Okay, he knows a little something about Zoom court. Another story for another day. Rich, okay. What do you make of Key's point? Strengthen the argument that the Jets should get Watson.
The Jets should be all in. This is something that would change the franchise. It would change the culture around the franchise and would give them stability at the quarterback position. No questions. Right now they have Sam Darnold. So far he has not impressed in 3 years. Do you go with him? Do you go with the rookie? There's so much risk involved in those decisions. There would be no risk in bringing in Deshaun Watson. That's why the Jets should get it done.
Rich, thank you very much. Now, seriously, put your mask back on. All right, Jay, on the other side, make the case that Deshaun Watson should go in the division, but not to the Jets, to the Miami Dolphins.
Well, first off, your honorary judge, I would like to say that I don't understand why my client would like to go to a team who was 2-14, and why you wouldn't want to go to the Miami Dolphins, a team that barely missed the playoffs, better defense, better wide receiver options, and I'll give you a massive caveat. No state income tax. Now, I think there are a couple of things. We have a 2-year head coach in Brian Flores. We have stability at that position. We have somebody that you can understand, somebody that you can work with collaboratively to take this franchise to another level. There are so many things that would make this. We have the assets. Not only do we have the 3rd pick, the 18th pick, we have 2 second-round picks. We have Tua Tagovailoa that we can make this trade easy, and we don't have to really extrapolate all of the options that we would have offensively and defensively to give up the house to get somebody like you. You just came from a situation where your team struggled. Why do you want to go to another situation where your team is going to struggle and you have to be the savior? Come to something that's already built that can help you get to where you want to go faster.
25 years old, in Miami, no state taxes. Go ahead and take that, or you could be in New York City, be the king of New York City.
Excuse me. Judge, I need you to be a strong judge right now. He had his testimony. Thank you. I would like to call my first witness to the stand.
And that's Cameron Wolf. Cameron,
They're trying to build this team the right way. Tua had an up and down rookie season, but they still believe he can be a top 10 quarterback that can lead them to a championship. And they would have all of their assets, their picks, to be able to do that and the flexibility to build this team they want to. So Deshaun Watson would definitely change the Dolphins, but they wouldn't immediately make them a title contender. They would still have holes. And you saw what happened in Houston when they had holes.
Okay, he should have been cut off way before I expunged.
Great witness that you have there.
Horrible witness, not the one I wanted.
You called the witness.
It's called editing, damn it, Key. We should have edited it better. That's all I have to say. We're out of time.
Okay, negligence of counsel, according to Jay. I'm declaring
I'm saying it's like
you know what, Key? She has your love.
Yeah,
she
so
has
every
love
day, every
day.
single day.
You have the best of me.
Every single day, man.
Yeah.
Every day is love in our household. We're a happy family. Kids are happy, so it's like
just buy Amazon stock.
That's all good.
You give back to yourself, Key.
Jay, all that's good. Amazon stock and this and that and do all that. They don't want to hear that though. So they don't want to hear his love. No, they don't want to hear that because it's such things is called social media in the world. And when they swiping and looking and doing all that, and then they get looking at the Kardashian shows and they looking at all these other shows and these girls are walking around with nice purses and things of that nature and them red bottom shoes and what is it, YSL? They want some of that.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out how to maneuver to get it.
See, Zuby, you would love my wife. She does not watch that stuff. She'll much rather read like an HBR magazine, like a Harvard Business Review. I'm like, hey, why don't you do this with your business? I'm like, thank you, Nikki. Yes.
My wife gonna do all that too, but at the end of the day, she gonna need what she need. That's just what it is.
All right, and last word from me. I might know a guy named Michael Kors. I ain't get you no Michael Kors, okay? I might know a guy named Michael Kors, but no Michael Kors coming from me to you unless it gets really serious. Again.
All right, I see you, Zoobs.
I see you, Zoobs. Okay.
Much more affordable, 1-800-FLOWERS.
Yes, that is correct.
On the way this morning is Dan Graziano. He joins us now. He's the ESPN NFL insider. Coming correct, straight and correct, Dan, is simply this. Key said it, man. If you don't want to be there, you ain't going to be there. And we've seen it with two big Houston superstars. Adam Schefter, right off we got up the air yesterday, officially confirming the trade request is in, even though we know it was made weeks ago. So now you've got a little bit of different information to work with from the context you talked to. It's in. McNair, Easterby, Caserio, Culley, Watson, hugely complicated. What do we need to know next?
Yeah, I'm sorry I was a little thrown off by the conversation leading into this. I'm not usually on Fridays, so I didn't realize it was like this. But in terms of Deshaun Watson, look, Houston's going to ask for the moon because they can. This is an unprecedented trade, right? There's never been a quarterback this age, this good, become available at this point in his career. So I would think based on everybody I've talked to, the price probably starts at 3 first-round picks. Now, that can be 2 first-round picks and a guy you took in the first round last year, right? That could equate to a first-round pick. These are the kinds of deals we're talking about if you are Nick Caserio, the new GM of the Houston Texans, and you are looking into trading Deshaun Watson, which you don't want to do. Remember, Houston does not want to trade Deshaun Watson, but if he's insisting and they don't want the situation to get ugly, they look at this as an opportunity to rebuild their store of draft picks. Remember, they don't have a first-round pick this year as a result of trades they've made. The Miami Dolphins trade to get Laramie Tunsil. So they need to, especially if they're going to lose their franchise quarterback, they need to restock some of those high picks so they can rebuild the team as quickly as possible. So Houston in the position now where they've just got the head coach hired, and now they are turning their attention to this very significant matter regarding Watson and their roster construction, and they are going to ask for a very high price, as they feel they should.
Dan, I know this is about the Texans and Deshaun, but we got here simply because of Eric Bieniemy, in my opinion. And you came on our show a week or so ago, and you said to us, you warned us that Eric Bieniemy probably could potentially get passed over in this cycle. What now? What's the next step?
For Bieniemy?
Yeah. Other than winning the Super Bowl.
I mean, look, right. After he wins the Super Bowl in a week and a half, then he'll be a hot candidate again next year. Look, I think if you were looking at Andy Reid and saying he's at the end of his career, you might say maybe Eric Bieniemy is in line to take over, but I don't get the sense that Andy Reid is at the end of his career. Why wouldn't you want to stick around and win as many as possible while Patrick Mahomes is in his prime? So Bieniemy will be a candidate again next year. Look, I mean, this is sort of how it goes. There will be 5 or 6 or 7 head coach openings again next year. It's just the way of the league. So his name will be brought up, and it's possible that he will find the team that wants him this time around. But yeah, it's one of those things, Key, where the longer it goes, the more you worry that a guy ends up, sort of kind of missing his window. I don't think that's the case with Eric Bieniemy, but another year of getting shut out, and that's the conversation we're having about him.
We had that conversation with you a week or so ago, and you said it astutely that this could happen, and it happened, and now the Texans are in hot water with Deshaun Watson. Where's the next landing spot for Deshaun?